Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of in-season training videos, and we're going to be focused on game action from week 2. Now, a couple things I want to hit. First, the adjustment to our injury timeout seems to be working, but we can't let up. If a player goes down, presents as injured after the ball is spotted, we have to charge that team a timeout. But so far, we've seen less feigning injury situations, so let's continue to do our work there. And second, really good work on our point of emphasis around pre-snap actions at the line of scrimmage. We've got a play in the video. We can't let up there. We're doing well with it. Let's continue to be excellent working that line of scrimmage. And finally, player safety. We have to do a great job with all of our player safety fouls, but especially around targeting. Make sure we do our job. Replay, we have to be good there as well. So with that, let's get on into our video. Our first play this week, and let me say, we've done a good job with pre-snap movement so far. Don't let up. We're in a better place right now than we have been. And we're going to see on this first play an interior defensive lineman. He's going to stem or shift, and the line judge throws a flag and shuts the play down. Now, as we go back and take a look at the defender, we see that he pumps his arms as he moves, and he doesn't just stem, but he simulates action at the snap, and that is a foul. And as we look from the end zone behind the offense, it appears 33, he moves on number 5's cadence, but he not only pumps his arms, but he has exaggerated head movement, and this is an attempt to make the offense false start. And I support this, shutting this play down and having the penalty even though the offense doesn't react. If we don't and we wait until a more critical time in the game, we're going to be viewed as inconsistent. Remember, the goal here is we want to have a fair start to each of our plays. Play 2, we have a big 3rd and 1 situation with the line to gain at the plus 46. Now, at the snap, both wing officials move to the line to gain. Excellent mechanics there. The quarterback drives for the line to gain. Visually, he looks like he might be a little short. The headline judge comes in. He's headed to the spot, and then he drops his beanbag and runs away to a potential hot spot. Now, the beanbag is short of the line to gain, but we're going to ultimately spot the ball beyond the beanbag. Now, let me say, on a critical spot like this, wings, we can't just abandon the spot. We have to stay and own this spot. That's really critical. Now, we're going to measure this, and the measurement doesn't go very well. All crews, review your measurement mechanics in our CCA mechanics manual that starts on page 91. But here, the back judge, he's not on the downfield side of the ball, and it makes for a very awkward measurement. The chain is way away from the ball, and we're going to rule first down. Now, replay is going to stop the game. We get some good views of this, and it looks like the runner is short, but there's nothing definitive. We can't see the ball, so replay is ultimately going to uphold the call on the field. This is a play where our mechanics matter, both during the play and after the play. Play 3, we're going to get a throw out into the flat. The defender, number 8, he makes a great break on the ball, jumps in front, intercepts the pass, and he's going to return it to the end zone, and we signal touchdown. Now, as we go back and take a look at the defender on the return, we see as he approaches the goal, he displays the ball out in front, and it looks like he may have lost firm control. Replay is going to stop the game for further review, and we get a tighter replay, and we can see there's no question inside the 5, and clearly before the ball breaks the plane of the goal, it comes loose. Now, replay must not only see the fumble, but identify what happens to the ball, and we can see that this is a forward fumble that goes into the end zone and rolls out the side of the end zone. So by rule, the result of the play is a touchback. Now, this is a tough play on the field. Good hustle here by the center judge and headline judge. Do your best, but be extremely alert in these breakaway situations, especially if the ball carrier does anything with the ball. Good job of replay here, cleaning it up. Play 4, we're going to see that the offense, they complete a pass for a first down, and they're going to hustle to the line to run the next play. And then we're going to have a stoppage for an injury timeout. And as we go back and take a look at the injury, we can see that the ball is down, the umpire steps away, and then the defender goes down injured. The crew properly charges the defensive team a timeout here. And we never make a value judgment on an injury. And as we can see, the defender on the previous play, he has no contact, but we can't begin to diagnose injuries. We have a bright line. If a player goes down after the ball is spotted, we charge that team a timeout. And we all know this rule isn't perfect, but the early indications show that the ugly potential feigning injury plays are down this year. Let's continue to do our part in this area. Play 5, we've got 2nd and 3 from the 5 going in, and we're going to get a handoff. The player's going to bounce it to the outside. He heads for the pylon, and the headline judge is going to rule touchdown. Now, it's very tight, and as we go back and take a look at the replays, we can see that the ball carrier, his left foot tips the pylon, and as we look at that moment in time, we know that the ball is dead at that point, but the player gets goal line extended. But it's very difficult to tell the exact position of the ball with all the views we have in relation to the pylon or the goal line extended. So replay is going to come in on this, but there's nothing really clear and obvious to overturn this. So the ruling of a touchdown is upheld. Now, one last note on this play. Headline judge, really good job of initially going to the line to gain here. And this is a tough play, but when it's apparent the player will go beyond the line to gain, be ready to pop to that goal line. Tough situation, support your call here, but be ready to get to that goal line. Play 6, we're late in the fourth quarter in the tight game, and we see the offense is going to run to the right side, no gain, but then we get a flag from our center judge well after the play. Now we see the center judge and the referee converse, and we get an excellent announcement from our referee.
After the play, flagrant unsportsmanlike conduct, number 90 defense. The 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Number 90 is ejected.
As we go back and take a look at the replay, we see that the defender, he clearly spits on an opponent. And this act definitely qualifies as a flagrant unsportsmanlike conduct foul. And we know that by rule, flagrant offenders are ejected. And just as a reminder, ejected players must leave the playing enclosure. And we know that's different than when a player is disqualified after targeting. A disqualified player, they can't participate, but they can stay in the team area, but an ejected player must leave. Play 7, we're in the second overtime, and our camera view comes in very late here, but we see the 12th man is leaving the huddle for the offense. And we can't tell, but we know if they break the huddle with 12 or they have 12 in the huddle longer than 3 seconds, then it's a dead ball substitution foul on the offense. But if the 12th player leaves the huddle in less than 3 seconds, which it appears that happens here, then the offense has now declared their 11 players, and we should already be in the T and our substitution mechanics to allow the defense the opportunity to substitute and match up. Now, the defense sends in a player, but the defensive coach has to call timeout. But we need to be alert here when the substitute comes onto the field, go into our substitution mechanics, and when the 12th player goes out, then that starts the 3-second window for the defense to begin their substitution. And so always be alert, especially in critical situations of substitutions and getting in our substitution mechanics. Our last play this week, and we're going to stay with the substitution process. We know that by rule, the defense may briefly maintain more than 11 on the field to anticipate the offensive formation. But if they have 12 on the field at the snap, it's a live ball substitution foul. Now, we're going to see it's 4th and 1, and the defense has got 12 in their formation. Now, as the play clock begins to run down, it goes down to 1 second, and the offense is going to call timeout. Now, the crew talks it through, and we're going to get an excellent announcement by our referee.
Illegal substitution, Montana State. There were 12 players on the field, which resulted in the timeout. South Dakota State will not be charged with a timeout. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Now, this is well done by the crew and really a representation of our approved ruling, AR 353, Roman numeral 6. It's a great job by the crew to recognize that we have 12 on defense, and Good job to put the linkage to this approved ruling. Well done. Well, that's it for our plays this week. Many good things here to talk about and learn from in our pregame conferences as a crew. And as we get ready to go this week, let's also talk about football common sense in our pregame conferences. We need to know our rules. We need to know our mechanics, certainly our officiating standards. And if we take those three areas and blend them with good football common sense, well, your crew should have a great week. Best of luck to all.